What's good? This is Nigel. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Uplift Fitness Club podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, or if you're not subscribed or following the channel, please be sure to follow the podcast on any platform that you're listening on. Here we talk about fitness, finance, and motivation. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely you want to follow so you can be aware anytime we drop new content. Also, please share the platform, share the podcast with anyone you feel like the content may help. We drop new episodes every single Tuesday faithfully. So with no further ado, let's get it. What are you chasing? Who are you chasing?
I'm chasing a guy that can create freedom for people around me in my circle. So I think I'm just chasing to try to get to a level where people can almost live through me.
What's going on, people? This is Nigel.
This is Brad.
And this is the Uplift Fitness Club podcast.
You ain't got the right to at least jump out. Okay, you ain't give us a question. At least let me jump out and try.
But like, that's gonna be one of the only scenarios where it's legitimately every man for himself. Only the strongest survive.
Slap the damn. Get the f out of my way. Sir, you can't open this door. Everybody doesn't have that.
You know, you open the door, then let all the pressure in.
Nigga get sucked out. There's gonna be some protocol. You can't open the door until everybody get their pressure.
Right, yeah.
Somebody gonna be over it. I'm getting the fuck off. Move the fuck out my way. Sir, everybody doesn't have on their pressure. Open that door up and kick that shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Those of y'all listening, man, we was just talking about a damn airplane. How come when you about to crash, right?
Yeah.
They tell you tuck your head in between your knees and lean forward.
Yeah, man, that's wild.
Yeah.
What the hell that supposed to do with the plane?
Man, it's supposed to snap your neck upon impact.
Keep your neck stable.
Nah, man, your neck gonna be snapped up instantaneously.
Yeah.
Spinal cord severed.
I feel like, see, when we think of plane crashes, right, it's just the worst. Like, that's it.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Like, you just disintegrate, right? Like,
It's a wrap.
They gonna have to let me off the plane.
You know what, man? I think you might not. Well, yeah, because all the gas on board.
Stuff that can blow up.
Yeah, it can blow up.
I guess it depends on if you crash in the water, it probably not. You probably just from impact die from.
Ain't no water hard, boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I jump out though, I'm gonna jump out like a needle.
Bruh, you jump out of the plane.
I'm gonna try to point my toes down so it can pierce the water. I can just pierce the water and go.
But this is gonna peel your skin off like a banana, bro.
I don't know, bro. You seen the movies? Oh no, they was shooting gun. They was shooting in it before to soften the water up.
Hey, bro. But that's crazy though. So it was like, why don't they put parachutes?
Yeah, everybody's having parachutes
on the plane, but then it was like it would descend into chaos. Cause then you have 50-year-old men punching children trying to get off the plane.
Cause I don't know how parachutes work, but they probably have different sizes, right? Like a
Probably so.
You imagine you got the wrong size of parachute, they gave you a medium or something.
300, and you know it'd be 300, 400-pound people on the plane too.
Extra large. And the one dude with it, he's really a medium, but he got the extra large.
They fighting over the sizes in there. Oh my God. Yeah, I think they can't do it because then I was like, they'd jump out the plane and then get sucked in by the turbine.
Yeah.
Or you was like,
or they jump out the plane and the pilot end up getting everything back under control.
Everybody that jumped out the plane. Hey, bro.
Hey. You like, what is going on here? Yeah. Pilot called back. Everybody, how's everybody doing back there?
Sorry for the commotion. I thought we was going that. How many people? When the stories come up, let me know how many people still on the plane.
One second.
Man. Yeah, they can't do that, man.
And then flight attendants done jumped off too. Everybody done jumped off.
Then you gonna have somebody open the door too early.
Yeah.
Man. So today, man, we talking about
What we getting into first, man?
We talking about the hedonic Treadmill or Hedonic Adaptation. Same thing.
Yeah.
So before we get into anything, I'm gonna read the definition of the hedonic treadmill. And that's the tendency of a person to remain at a relatively stable level of happiness despite a change in fortune or the achievement of major goals. So the tendency to remain at a relatively stable level of happiness. So basically you get to a new plateau.
Right.
First day is lit. Next week is regular.
It kind of made me think about one of the statements. I don't know where I heard it from or one of this quote, but it was saying, treat your losses like your successes, right?
Elaborate on that.
So it's like, when you lose, right, you don't want to dwell on it too hard. And when you win, you don't want to dwell on that too hard, right? So kind of keep the celebrations the same in a sense, or the time that you would dwell on and keep it the same. There's one of these things too where it's like, I read it earlier. They were saying that, how was this quote go? When you're losing, things that when you're losing, don't speak on it too much, right? And when you're winning, speak on it even less, like barely talk about it.
That's like the mindset of manhood as it's been preached to us, over time through media, whatever sources that you see, like, they tell men not to acknowledge the stresses, the emotional stuff in life.
Yeah.
But also, when you win, you know what I'm saying, you can't be cocky, you can't have an ego. Or like a quarterback. Like when you lose, it's your fault. Just own up to it. Yeah. And when you win, it's the team's fault.
The team. Yeah.
You don't never get no credit, but you get all the blame, and you just gotta go to the next week.
Yeah. So
you were saying before we start recording that it reminds you of your car. So you just
it reminds me of cause one of my dream cars is a Porsche.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about the Porsche as I was getting my car, and I started to even look even further, like after, just put myself in the place as if I'm buying a Porsche, right? And how I would feel about getting this car, and then how would I feel the next week, or how would I feel the next month? How would I feel, 6 months down the line? Like, is this car, what kind of joy? What is this car exactly going to bring me?
Right. Besides transportation.
Right.
And people
I started looking at it deeper. Oh, those are very nice cars.
Yeah. It's unclean.
Real clean. Real clean.
It's very clean.
I would love to drive it.
Yeah.
If finances was,
unlimited
where I can drive it, sure. But I was like, what exactly does it bring? I started thinking about Chad Johnson. He was talking about, he just drive like minivans now.
He was talking about driving a Fiat.
Yeah, he drive fuel efficient cars.
Two driving a Fiat.
Yeah, he drive fuel efficient. He drive vehicles that make sense in the moment, right? You got a bunch of family coming down. I got a minivan for that.
Yeah, okay.
Right, I got a long trip coming up. I need me fuel efficient, whatever is the best on gas, whatever.
Right.
Like he ain't worried about pulling up in nothing crazy, right? He ain't pulling up in a Rolls Royce, nothing like that. Still humble, and he's still working. Still working, still getting stuff done, still having a career even after his initial NFL career. But yeah, how you just keep moving, get past that plateau. I mean, we've seen it in our lives, right? Like you graduate school, you get a job.
I mean, bro, it's been times where it's instantaneous. Like you think about the response that you get from adaptation, right? And the only way you know that you've adapted is by accomplishing something that you didn't think was possible. So like if you think about it from the fitness perspective, okay, I couldn't bench 225, today I did. I've adapted. That's the evidence of the fact, right? But the immediate response in your brain is you get that dopamine hit, everybody hyping you up if they're there. Or you just inside your own mind like, I did that. Next week, that's regular. So if you don't hit 225, it's like something's wrong. But if you do hit it, you already knew you could do it, so it's not the same response. Even if you're excited to do it again, it's like, you know, you're not gonna feel like you did that first time.
Right.
It was a thought that I just had, bro. Bruh. Oh, I was about to kill this on that one. What the fuck I just say? When I graduated from college, that's supposed to be this big moment.
Yeah.
Like, you know, 1 in 6 black people in America over the 8 graduate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it puts you in the percentile where there's not a lot of people who have done what you've done, especially to be a man.
Right.
You know, a young man graduating from college. It's a big accomplishment. As soon as I walked across the stage, it was over with.
Yeah.
I ain't feel nothing, bro. Like, I'm walking up, I'm thinking about, damn, bro, I remember coming back to this joint, quitting my job. Like, I've been through all this stuff, like all these hurdles.
Yeah.
I walked to the stage. By the time I shook the president's hand, bro, it's like, all right. You know what I'm saying? And part of that is, you know, me being over analytical in my head, not enjoying the moment as it's coming.
Yeah.
And I ended up enjoying, you know, my graduation party and all that type of stuff. But another part of that is, what does that really mean? Is the reward in the outcome, or is the reward in the process? And I will argue, and I think we're gonna argue, that the majority of the reward is from the process that caused the adaptation. So let's get into it, man.
Man, you remember when we used to work out every day and we ended up hitting, I guess
PR?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we started to search for the feeling of muscles
pain,
being teared down,
yes,
and
bro,
being built back up again.
So if anybody been listening for this long, we talked about this before, but like, it was a point, because we had so much time.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Like, we had so much time on our head, like, go to the gym. First off, we were waking up like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get to the gym 12 o'clock. I don't know what the hell I was doing from 10 to 12.
Yeah.
And then we working out for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
When you working out for 2 hours and you 18, 19, full of testosterone, bro, you just torturing yourself. So we like literally doing probably 12 to 15 different exercises, tearing the muscle down to oblivion.
Yeah.
And then after like 6 months to a year, it was like we'd be doing the same workouts, but not feeling nothing. And we probably went like 2-3 months. Like, I know I did, not really saying nothing. But then we get to a point, I was like, "Hey, bro, hey, you be in pain at all?" And what you say?
I haven't felt my muscles isn't getting teared down no more, man. It's like my body has fully adapted,
because to what we doing,
right?
So, but also we weren't progressing. We weren't. So there are tenets of exercise that are going to cause growth in either strength, endurance, hypertrophy, whatever. So what's it called? Progressive resistance or progressive overload. You have like undulating periodization, to where like there's these terms, right, that you might hear if you watch fitness videos, but let's stick to progressive overload. You have to increase the load or the volume in order to get those gains, right, in either strength, size, endurance, what have you. So we were coming in, knocking out 225, 5 sets of 20, you know, maxing out on bench, you know, with 135. But your body is fully accommodated. Unless you're gonna sit there and do 50 reps with 135, there's nothing that your body like, hey, bro, we got that. I need more. And I think that's the same predicament of the human psyche. It's like comfortability breeds contempt. And whenever something is stagnant, it just kind of like becomes rancid. So like, I think if people are honest with themselves, whenever they've been in a relationship for 10 years and every day is the same, or whenever they've been in a job for 20 years, every day they come in and do the same thing, they're completely dissatisfied with that circumstance because it's not challenging. And their subconscious mind is asking them to pull more from within. So Yeah, man, that's that adaptation on a large scale, right? But then let's think about how this applies to consumerism. Because I've really been griping with this idea that like, things have value. All things are valuable to a certain extent, but I think most things are only valuable, and you kind of touched on this, for their utility.
Yeah.
So with the car example, right? You got a Porsche on one hand. You got, probably on the opposite end of the spectrum, you got the 2011 Hyundai Sonata that broke down on you, right? And then somewhere in the middle, you got your Camrys, the newer cars that's just mid-tier joints.
Right.
I think somewhere in that middle of the bell curve is a sweet spot for the car that you should get.
Yeah.
Based on your finances, based on, your fuel efficiency, all these different the features, all these different factors, right? But when we talk about utility, it's often way down on the list of importance in the decisions that people make, especially financially, monetarily. So how you feel like hedonism applies to consumerism in your experience? So the search or the belief that the pursuit of pleasure is of the highest order. Yeah. How have you seen that show up in your experience, or those that you come into contact with?
I think just on the day-to-day, man, like my mind is consistently moving. No matter my accomplishments, it's still
keep going.
Yeah, it's still not. It's just still not enough. I don't know how to explain it, man. It's kind of like, you go to. It's like you go to it's like a Thanksgiving dinner. It's just like, man, I gotta eat now. I gotta pack food to go.
Yeah.
And I gotta warm it up tomorrow, and it better taste the same. It probably tastes better.
Because it's shit when it's shit.
And then the next day I gotta eat it again. It's just kind of just how it is, how my life has been. Like I had one accomplishment, it's like, all right, cool. All right, what I gotta do next to get where I really want to be at, which is, I'm not even sure. Even when I really get there, the person that I'm chasing to be, I feel like once I get there, I'm just want to evolve, and I'm gonna be chasing this next person that I'm trying to be.
So you know what? This kind of ties into the initial topic we was going to touch on. So we could definitely make the connection, right? What are you chasing? Who are you chasing?
I'm chasing a guy that can create freedom for people around me in my circle. Right, so I think I'm just chasing to try to get to a level where people can almost live through me.
Like philanthropy, like investing into others,
right?
Making thoughts become reality,
right?
That type of thing, and that in and of itself is you're chasing usefulness.
Yeah.
So like you're kind of like a vessel. I used to be a RA. You know that.
Yeah.
When we blow up, they ain't gonna know that.
Yeah.
So when I was a RA, the parents would always come in, or maybe on like interviews or something like that. Somebody asked, "Hey, what does a RA do?" So, well, we're essentially like the bridge between campus resources and the students. When you're a freshman, you come onto a college campus, you don't know anything. You don't know where anything is at. You got your course schedule. You don't even know where the communications building is, cafeteria. You don't know nothing. So who are the people that put you on to the resources and the information? The RAs. Outside of social interactions and stuff like that, right? But that's what you are. You're a conduit or a bridge, or that's what you're trying to become.
Right.
You look at LeBron James, there's like the nth degree example, right? He had a group of guys on his high school team that there was basketball players. One went, did an internship with the top agency for professional athletes. Another one did internships with businesses, and then they reassembled like a goddamn Power Ranger, Transformers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now they had this conglomerate because they were all able to create. They were all able to be of use. Like an agent to LeBron James is of great use. He's an NBA athlete. He needs deals in the NBA, endorsements. Rich Paul, he can get them partnerships with community organizations, government, grants for his I Promise school, or donations, all these different things. He probably got a guy for publicity, put out stories. Hey, LeBron wanted this story to be put out so he could get this, whatever it is.
Right.
So the high, I don't know if usefulness is the highest order, but I can't think of nothing else that is more important outside of maybe integrity. You know what? Maybe integrity is more important, because even if you're useful, if you lack integrity and I guess maybe honesty, then people can't trust you.
Right.
So they won't even use you because
your word is, you can't count it.
Exactly. Man is only as important as his word.
Right.
So we talked about legacy a little bit before this, and I said, responsible decision making is making decisions today based on your legacy. And then we talked about what goes into legacy, right? So we said like kids, money,
your contributions to the world,
right? Like tangible, and probably philosophically,
right?
So like the ideology that you impart on others, maybe the experiences that you create for other people. These are all contributions. So making decisions today based off of your legacy. How do you make decisions today? What does that entail? What you had to consider when you're making those decisions? What's the decision that you had to make recently?
How to leave a job.
Whether to leave a job.
Yeah.
Okay. And what went into that decision? Why did you feel like this is the best option for me to do?
I thought about future growth. So the place that I just left, I didn't have access to all the resources that I would like to have access to, like during my work hours, right? So like pretty much I was limited on access to the internet, and what I could do at work, right? Like I could only do work at work, and I can't do that. I can't be at a place where, okay, there's a lot of tasks. Let me take it back. I read on LinkedIn not too long ago with one of these CEOs that wrote, teleworking has almost demolished the fake busy at work, right? Like most tasks at work, right? We work 8 hours a day, but really we can probably get our tasks done within 2 hours. Right.
Yeah.
At 2 to 6. Depending on what career field you in.
And some days, bro, 30 minutes.
So, working from home, now people that have that flexibility to work from home, like they don't have to be fake busy, right? They can do their task and they can, go finish up a homework assignment, go make a call to their family member, go, so forth. So those options at my job, I had to basically be fake busy for full 8 hours every day. And I wasn't able to do any personal things. This is because of the line of work that I'm in.
Right. And you were chained to a place that also wasn't pouring into you.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I was looking at that, and then I was looking at the environment just in a place of, okay, since I am in this career field for right now, I would like to be around people where I could grow to the highest, right? I like to be challenged to the highest. I like to have a little bit more resources around myself to challenge myself to grow. Because I met a gentleman now, he's overseas, but he challenged me like every day to help me grow, to help me basically be at where I'm at right now.
Right.
The reason why I can just get up and leave a place when I want to now.
That confidence.
So,
to the confidence to bet on yourself. And to know that like the environment doesn't dictate your results. Your actions dictate your results.
Right.
So I had a similar decision to make in the spring when I was picking what school I was going to. I had probably 5 interviews, and 3 of them wanted the offer. 3 wanted the offer. The first one was the one I ended up choosing. I lied. The second one, the first one offered me on the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I ain't never been there. I ain't really like the energy on the call. Like, they were splitting their attention. So I'm picturing myself in that environment. Like, if the principal has to split her attention on an interview, what am I gonna be doing in this classroom? Then I was like, okay, go to the next interview. They liked me on the phone, told me to come in. I was like, all right. Wanted to see me actually in action. Like, can this guy actually do what we asked him to do? So I'm like, damn, bro, they want something out of me. They want something out of me, right? I pull up to the school and I do something I've never done before. But that meant a lot to me because I'm like, they at least wanted to evaluate me on my merit as opposed to my consumer facing question. You know, like, I'm gonna answer this question. I've been studying y'all.
Yeah.
I know the answers to these
questions. Yeah.
But can you do it though?
Yeah. They said that, you know, the hottest thing out right now in terms of employers, what they're looking for is like people that can just adapt to sticky situations. What are your soft skills like? How do you respond
to adversity?
Right. So it's like the top of the line thing right now. It seems like a lot of people are suffering from from the lack of soft skills.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it definitely for real, because I've overheard some conversations in workplaces that you would think is supposed to be the highest of the highest of professionalism, and there's still like a lot of little shady things going on behind doors, and people just not being able to communicate, and this one little simple, misunderstanding, blowing stuff out of proportion, and now you got little cliques talking about these other cliques, and
it's crazy how people still behave like the same way in middle school.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like this.
I've already seen it. I'm like, I just said to myself, man, I'm glad I ain't on my team, bro. Like, I'm glad, like, line of work, it's just me versus the technology,
right?
And I ain't gotta worry about no extra stuff.
So I think about legacy as it pertains to what you just said.
Yeah.
Like, the type of person that you are can't be malleable based on circumstances or environment. So, like, you get a lot of opportunities to pass and fail tests in life, and that's social tests, integrity tests, accountability tests. You get a lot of tests. Every day is probably like 5 or 6 things.
For sure.
And when you're faced with those tests, you have to be firm in what you believe in, what you will and won't do, and the type of person that you know yourself to be. So it's like, damn, what the fuck? God damn, you get tests, you gotta pass them all. Legacy, contributions. So it's your contribution. You being an integral person contributes to the people that you have in your leadership tree. So whether it's your children, your family, immediate family, all the people in your domain, your sphere of influence. And if you can create a circle of influence with people who are of high integrity, high morality, and are accountable, then y'all can create a larger bubble. It's like an exponential impact. So, like, that's why it's important to have a network, because you can not only refer people to, like, you call me with a problem, I say, hey, I got this person who can do this. But it's important for y'all to be integral, because then your contributions can not only give people hard skills, but like you said, soft skills.
Right.
Like, my mom always talks about, she didn't get certain tools coming up, right? As far as like conflict resolution, how to express herself, and when she's not feeling supported.
Right.
So then when she goes to her job, though, with people who might have had those resources that she lacked, she gets tools from those people to understand, oh, I don't have to respond to this like this. oh, I like the way they did that. Let me apply that to my life. And it's not going to be perfect, but still, those people make a continuous impact.
Contribution.
It's the contribution.
Yeah.
So let's get back to this hedonic treadmill, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got capitalism, right? Which I think inherently relies on consumerism.
Mm-hmm.
You would agree, right?
Right.
Like in a free market, we need people to be buyers and sellers. So capitalism, you need consumers. So we promote to people in order to drive up consumerism. There is inherently like groups that are going to be more impacted by that, right? Goddamn. Capitalism, consumerism. All right, so they rely on each other, and they need people to be willfully ignorant to the detrimental aspects of them being consumers.
Write it down.
You can't wait your whole life to make a change.
Believe in yourself.
Innovate with integrity and intentionality.
We believe that synthetic happiness is not of the same quality as what we might call natural happiness. What are these terms? Natural happiness is what we get when we get what we wanted, and synthetic happiness is what we make when we don't get what we wanted. And in our society, we have a strong belief that synthetic happiness is of an inferior kind. Why do we have that belief? Well, it's very simple. What kind of economic engine would keep churning if we believed that not getting what we want could make us just as happy as getting it? With all apologies to my friend Mathieu Ricard, a shopping mall full of Zen monks is not going to be particularly profitable because they don't want stuff enough.